Being the final finale finishing season 1 of the show. It's like a kid. I think we should give you the guitar like last minute.
Yeah, me too. Hello, I'm Joe.
I'm Mark.
And this is the GAK Show. So this is the season finale of season one of the GAK Show.
Yes.
So this week we're going to have a look at the new Line 6 Variax. It's not new, a new finish available. 2 new finishes available in the Line 6 Variax.
Amethyst.
Yeah, this
is like a purple,
amethyst, which is cool.
Which
yeah,
I didn't know before. But
yeah, these are the Pacifica shaped versions of the Variax, and this partnership between Line 6 and Yamaha has been fantastic because it means that we get all that Variax tech at kind of a more reasonable price point, basically.
Now I'm not familiar with these guitars that much. I can see that you can do different sounds and there's different tunings, but
yeah, that's kind of it. So the Line 6 Variax gives you access to loads of modelling tech. Now that means different guitar types. That means different tunings and different effects all on board, and you can use this with the Line 6 Workbench technology. But it does also work as like a standard Pacifica with sort of, you've still got your 5-way, you've still got like your Strat pickup selection. It's just, also if you want to, you can flick it round to like T model and turn your Strat into a Telecaster. And if you want that in a synthetic version of Dadgad, you can also do that with the tuning rotation.
I always worry that these kind of guitars are a little gimmicky.
But yeah, and if it was anyone else, it would be. But the partnering of Yamaha, who make incredible like quality guitars, so you already know off the bat that the Pacifica's a cracking guitar, and then the Line 6 tech is just, I think this year with the introduction of the Shuriken as well. Which was Stevic, the guitarist from 12 Foot Ninja's signature baritone version of this model. I think it kind of proves that the Variax tech is completely brilliant.
So the next thing we're going to look at today is just hiding down next to Joe, and it is the Egnater Rebel 20.
Yeah, these amps are super cool. So Egnater were kind of one of the first brands to jump on the whole lunchbox thing, and yeah, the Rebel 20 for me was always like the ultimate in that, because it was at a time when people wanted portable and versatile amplifiers, and Egnater were kind of there. They were super affordable for what they were. Bear in mind, this is a 20 watt like all valve amp head in a cool chassis that looks super retro. And what makes the Egnater Rebel 20 really innovative is this tube mix control, which mixes you between the 6v6s and the EL84s in the amp's preamp. So you've got 2 really distinct, really different, but really quintessential sounds to choose from. And then, if that wasn't enough, also over on like the sort of I guess the preamp presets area of the head, you can choose between a classic and a high gain setting. So you can use this. This works really well in a kind of Mesa Boogie style big metal rock riffs, and it can also be really flabby and classic and old school as well at the flick of a switch. I just think they're fantastic.
And the obvious, it looks fantastic, like super,
that's kind of it.
Super retro, super vintage.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the part of the show where I challenge Joe to go down to the GAK store and do different challenges every week. And this week I've challenged Joe to go down and find me a guitar with the weirdest finish.
Challenge Joe!
So in order to find the weirdest finish, I have come to the Metal Zone section of the GAK store, because what is more tasteless than a metal guitar? Now, I can't really talk about weird finishes without mentioning Eddie Van Halen, and this is the EVH Stripe series, and this one's even weirder because it's black and yellow. Have you ever wanted a guitar that looks like it's been wrapped in tin foil and then lightly spray painted? Well, don't worry, PRS have you covered with this multi-foil SE24. Ibanez Gems have always been pretty weird. I think any guitar that's going to be involved with Steve Vai is going to be weird. Do you remember the Gem DNA when Steve Vai actually had some of his blood worked into the paint finish? Well, this isn't as bad as that, but this is a Floral Ibanez Gem. So this is probably the most expensive conclusion I've ever come to in a challenge show, but I couldn't not pick The
Wow.
the Ibanez Paul Stanley Iceman. Now this guitar.
Is he the Kiss guy, right?
He's the guy from Kiss. So this guitar was originally made for him in back in 1979, and he's toured it ever since. This is probably the most authentic and close to the original copy that Ibanez have ever made. So this comes out of the Japanese custom shop for Ibanez, and it's the only one in the UK. They made these in a really, really small, limited number. I'm not sure how many, but yeah, this is the only one in the UK. It's such a ridiculous guitar. It's such a ridiculous guitar. We get loads of cool, weird, finished things that come through the shop from time to time, from chrome custom shop strats, to weird sort of garish glitter finishes. But I think a sort of smashed purple mirror Iceman has got to be the weirdest.
And then the detail, it's just like, what is this?
Abalone. Comes to guitars, I think it's quite acceptable to have something that's a bit flamboyant or a weird color or setup. But when it comes to your amplifier, most amps are black Tolex.
Yeah,
they're far less adventurous.
Not as adventurous as this, anyway.
Exactly. Enter the Epiphone 1939 inspired Century.
It looks like, a 1930s radio.
Yeah, it does.
Which I assume is the idea.
Yeah,
kind of amp radio thing.
That's right. It is based on an amplifier from the 30s, but certainly not inside.
A guitar amplifier?
Sort of. I think it was just more like a general purpose amplifier. You think this is still 10 years before the electric guitar was sort of popularised. But yeah. This is the Epiphone Century, a proper Art Deco 18-watt all-valve amp. So this is perfectly giggable amplifier, and it looks absolutely blinding. In a complete sort of wood chassis with no Tolex, this cool old Epiphone E and this great grille. All the controls are on the back, down the bottom. All you've got is tone and volume. And then, you just have 18 watts of awesomeness.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like the simplicity of it as well. Like you said, it's tone and volume. I like that.
And it's that simplicity which I think is the cornerstone of the Epiphone Century. The other feature that it has, other than just having a volume and a master tone, it has a foot switchable volume bypass.
Okay.
So you hit the foot switch and it will turn the amp up to full volume.
Nice.
Which is super cool.
That is cool. So this is the part of the show where we take 5 effects pedals, different effects each week, and we hide them within the shoebox, and we turn on 3 of them, and Joe has to guess which 3 we are turning on. This is...
The Shoebox Challenge.
So the pedals in question this week are delays, and we're having a look at delays with a difference. We've selected the Dan Electro Dan Echo, super vintage vibe from that one. The Earthquaker Devices Dispatch Master, which is a reverby delay. The T-Rex Replay Box, which is basically everything you've ever wanted in a delay. The incredibly versatile and unusual Ibanez Echo Shifter, and the incredibly affordable but still wicked TC Electronic Echo Brain analog delay.
So, being the finale, season 1 end finale finish.
Yeah.
You need to get 3 out of 3. Because you've had 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
no
I know.
threes.
I know. I can't even really remember what pedals I just said we were doing. So this will be interesting.
Are you ready for number 1?
I'm ready for number 1.
Here's number 1. Are you ready for a number 2?
Yes!
Wasn't that interesting?
Yeah. Do I?
Yeah, you
Okay. Turn away. And now it's time for number 3.
Okay, so before I tell you what I think, what do you think? Let us know in the comments below.
So, what do you think, number 1?
Okay, number 1, I thought I kind of wanted more manipulation from you. It was you didn't.
I gave you a fair bit.
You basically changed the rate, and that was about it.
I did more than
So, well, okay, fine. So. I was left thinking, well, it has to be one of the more simple ones. So I was like, Dan Echo, T-Rex Replay Box, TC Electronic Echo Brain, but I'm going to go with T-Rex Replay Box.
Oh, Joe.
It was the TC. It was the Dano. Oh,
It's the Dano.
man.
Okay, number 2, what do you think?
Number 2, you were doing loads of like repeat rate alteration, but there were a lot of like digital artifacts, which kind of confused me a little bit because this is analog, so this shouldn't really do that sort of thing. This is analog voiced, so again, it shouldn't really do that sort of thing. But I didn't hear an awful lot of reverb coming through, so I was like, I'm not sure it was the Dispatch Master, but because there were so many digital artifacts, I'm going to go Dispatch Master.
Correct.
Yeah! Sweet!
See, you haven't got 0 yet.
No,
Anyway,
exactly.
There's 1 down.
And number 3 was the Ibanez Echo Shifter.
It was not.
What?
No, it wasn't. It was this.
Oh no!
It was. I like the confidence, but it was this little bad
Finishing
boy.
the season on 1 out of 3.
Yeah. Well.
So it's 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3.
1 out
2
of
out of
3.
3, 1 out of 3.
God knows. So just, no threes for you.
So that was the final episode of Season 1 of The GAK Show. We found out that I know nothing about delay pedals. We had a look at the coolest amplifier of all time in history, the Epiphone Century.
I challenged Joe to find me the weirdest finish, and he found me the Paul Stanley...
The Japanese custom shop Ibanez Paul Stanley?
Yeah, which is crazy. And we took a look at the Egnater Rebel 20 amp head.
If you have liked this series, then please let us know in the comments below and suggest other videos for us to do, because we are out of ideas.
And if you want to see more reviews, demos, and videos like this, then don't forget to hit the little subscribe button, and we shall see you very soon.